desire not to upset my parents, I endured silently. That day, during a break at work, my father called me into the reception room. Since I also assist my father with his work, I often visit the reception room. As I entered the room, my father was already there. "Is something wrong?" To my question, my father replied cheerily, "It's been a year since you married Kevin. As promised, I think it's time you told him the truth." "Ah, I remember that promise." "What's wrong? Aren't you happy? Didn't you say he's not after the money?" "That's true, but it's just that now." With a wry smile, my father lightly patted my shoulder and advised me, "Are you having trouble with Kevin? Well, you're both still young, and it's early in your marriage, so these things happen. It's not a fight. Don't worry. Your mother and I used to argue a lot too. But as you can see, we're happily living together now. You'll be fine too, Rose." "Yes, maybe you're right, Dad." "Huh? Is there something else bothering you?" "No, it's okay. I just might want to talk about it after some time has passed." "Ha ha ha. Don't be so down. Marital disputes are common." My father seemed to think that the troubles between us were just minor spats. To avoid worrying my parents, I have never discussed my husband's issues with them. This has led my father to mistakenly believe that we are doing well. "Come on, make up with Kevin soon." With those words, he left the room. Left alone, I felt a deep pain in my heart from emotions I couldn't suppress. I had married Kevin despite the concerns my parents had. I could never tell my father about the rough relationship with Kevin. However, if I don't say something, misunderstandings might arise. I need to somehow maintain my relationship with my husband so as not to raise any suspicions with my father. And if possible, I want to improve our relationship. That night, aiming for an important conversation with my husband, I left work on time and waited for him to come home. As soon as dinner was ready, he returned home. I immediately brought up the important matter. "Kevin, there's something I need to talk about." "Huh?" "I'm tired, though. There's something I need you to listen to. We are a couple, right? I want us to have a more enjoyable and equal daily life together." "Equal? Ha, what are you talking about? There's no way you and I are on the same level." He grabbed my bangs and pulled them up forcefully. Ouch! A cry escaped me, but he did not loosen his grip. Watching me struggle, he continued his words slowly, as if taunting me. "Listen, I did you a favor by marrying you. You should be grateful that I married someone as unsophisticated and clumsy as you. Did me a favor? Kevin, you said you loved me, didn't you? You actually believe that. I pretended to love you because you're docile and easy to use like a housekeeper. That's not true. All you need to do is quietly do as I say, housekeeper." With those words, he pulled my hair and drew me towards himself. From that day on, I decided not to expect anything. It seemed unlikely that I could have an equal relationship with him. However, I couldn't worry my parents, and divorce wasn't an option. Gradually, I lost my appetite, and I began to live my days as merely a housemate with my husband. One morning, I woke up feeling extremely lethargic. My head hurts, and I'm feeling chilly. When I took my temperature, it shockingly read 105 degrees. Enduring the pain in my joints, I somehow managed to get up and spoke to my husband. "Kevin, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can make breakfast this morning." "What? Why not?" "I have a fever of 105 degrees. It's too painful to move. Can I just rest today?" He sighed loudly and then shouted angrily. Unacceptable to skip work just because of a fever. Get to work now. You're useless. Please forgive me. I really feel terrible. Shut up. What an excuse. A housekeeper defying her master. Please, just let me rest today. Please. He clicked his tongue and harshly slammed the door as he left the room. At that moment, I noticed my hands were trembling and my body was freezing. I clearly understood how much I was being driven into a corner. If this continues, I will likely break down both mentally and physically. Both my mind and body will break down if I don't do something about it. I need to take action somehow, but I can't think of a specific way to do it. I tried to search for solutions, but the dizziness from the fever made it hard to concentrate, and my thoughts were scattered. Perhaps due to the prolonged state of tension, I fell back asleep without even realizing it. Hours later, I was startled awake by my husband's loud voice. Hey, how long are you going to sleep? You're so useless. Kevin. It was already dark outside. Although the fever had slightly subsided, my body still felt weak and my head ached. Yet he didn't hide his anger and